Hey everyone, it's Marcus, and I am chatting in my jungle room once again. I'm really excited because you know what, as far as directors go in Adelaide, there are some really, really cool ones. I'm speaking to one of my favorites. He has done incredible work. Please, everyone, welcome Peter Goers.
Marcus Hammonds. Oh, in your jungle room, like
In
Elvis.
my jungle room, you know what? Elvis and I are practically soulmates. What can I say?
That,
There's a lot of
uh,
similarity.
Marcus, I'm very grateful for your support of what we've been doing at Holden Street. You've been invaluable, thank you. And I'm very, very grateful. I'm sure Martha Lott is too.
Look, I just caught up with Martha Lott yesterday, actually. Went to catch Romeo and Juliet by a state opera
Oh,
company.
yes.
Ran into Martha. We had a little bit of a chat. So always lovely catching up with Martha and always lovely catching up with you. I mean, I've known you for a good long time now.
You have, Mark.
And I've seen a lot of your productions, and I just rate what you do highly. So,
Thank you.
um, you're coming to the end of the tenure at Holden Street Theatres. You've produced
Yes.
incredible work. We're going to talk about the new piece very shortly. Over the course of the 3 years, what is something that has really stood out for you that
Well,
you're the most proud of?
the reason, because I had 20 years at the ABC, I was not able to work a lot as a director in the theatre. I did my own shows endlessly, over 1,000 performances as an entertainer all around South Australia and interstate 1,000 times, literally. And I did the odd play and directed the odd cabaret show, but I was out of the theatre basically, which I miss terribly because it's my first love.
Yep.
And just as my position at the ABC was changing, Martha serendipitously rang me, and I said, "Well, Martha, we're on," because I wanted to work with Martha because I think she's one of the great actors,
Mm.
and I've known her for a very long time and had worked with her previously, but I felt that she wasn't getting her due. She was too old to play young and too young to play old, but a whole lot of parts were opening up. And I said, off we go. So we started with Looped, in which she played Tallulah Bankhead. I know you like that show very much. We
Amazing.
did a very serious play called Night Mother. We did the two Noel Coward one-act plays, and then we did Patrick White's A Cheery Soul.
Yes.
And then here we are. Oh, and of course, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf with
Wow.
Martha and Brant Eustace, Chris Asimos, and Jess Corrie, which, yeah, so it's been work I've been very proud of, thanks to her for giving me the gig
Mm.
and for being able to work with Martha and other wonderful actors.
Let's talk
So
about
here we are.
Let's talk about Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf just for a second, because that was just a good few months ago, the most recent
Yes.
one. Outstanding. I mean, that was
Mm.
something you walked out of the theater, just sitting in the car, having to process on that drive home because that it tormented you, didn't it?
Mm.
It was a great piece of writing. Great piece.
I've been working in the theatre since 1971 and directing since about 1974 or something. And when it comes to the arts, Marcus, I'm always wrong. I'm always wrong. I was the person who said the Fringe wouldn't work annually. I was the person who said to Douglas Gautier, "Don't do an Ausasia festival; that'll never work." I'm always wrong. And with certain things, I thought, uh, for example, Cheery Soul, the Patrick White play, I thought this is going to be a very hard sell, and yet it went gangbusters.
Oh, wow.
And people came from interstate to see it. It had national attention. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is a very, very torturous play and a very, very difficult play. It's an actor's play. You need four actors at the top of their chops, which mercifully we had.
Yeah.
And I was very, very scared of it, frankly. But a good play is hard to kill, and you trust the play, and it did very well. It
Oh,
did very well, thanks to four wonderful actors.
tremendous. And like you say, Holden Street Theatres is such a beautiful, iconic venue down in
Yes,
Hindmarsh, and just such a pleasing, welcoming space to walk into to experience theatre. So credits to
yes,
Street Theatres and Martha Lot. Um, hey, moving on, Peter. Obviously, your big swan song for your tenure is Harvey in the studio, written by Mary Chase.
yep.
Exciting. It's going to be running from the 4th to the 22nd of November, which is not far away.
With
Uh,
five matinees as
and
well, with
you
a
are
nightly
acting in
and
this.
five matinees.
You are
Sorry.
you're acting in this one, which is great.
Yes.
So
Well,
talk to us about Harvey.
it's a challenge. I love this play. I appeared in it 24 years ago, directed by Matthew Byrne, the late lamented Matthew Byrne, at the Goodwood Theatre, and I loved it. And I thought we could revive it again, hopefully, because it's popular, and hopefully. And it's being directed by Rosie Ost, who's, because I couldn't direct it myself, obviously, being in it. And it has a fine cast of Adelaide actors, particularly Rebecca Kemp, who plays the female lead, my sister. I think it's a play that sort of it's got to me over the years when I first did it, because the man I play, it's set in America in 1944, and it became one of the most popular American comedies ever written. It's been done thousands of times all around the world. It had opened in 1944. It was directed by Antoinette Perry, after whom the Tony Awards are named.
Oh, wow.
And it became very successful. It played 4.5 years on Broadway. And it became a film in 1950 with James Stewart and Josephine Hull. Josephine Hull, an American character actress, won an Oscar for her role. And it's much loved. Basically, we're in small town America in 1944, and the character I play is a very nice man called Elwood P. Dowd. And he's an ordinary sort of a man. You wouldn't look twice at him on the street. He may or may not be an alcoholic, but you never see him drink or drunk. And his best friend is a 6 foot, 1.5 inch tall white rabbit called Harvey, visible only to him. Now, he's very happy with Harvey, but Harvey is driving his family mad. And that is the comedy of it. And eventually, does the family, accept Harvey? Does the family begin to see Harvey? And does the audience begin to see Harvey? This is the kind of magic of it. And I suppose it's a play which says we should accept other people, we should accept difference, we should accept friends, and we should love, and it's a very, very charming comedy. And I don't think charm. I think charm is underrated. It's nice to be charming, Marcus. You're pretty charming.
We got to
So
try
I play,
something, right?
and I wear this hat very often in the show. This hat, I've become attached to this hat,
I love it.
and like Indiana Jones, I think, and his hat. I was thinking of doing the play wearing hair rather like yours, Marcus, but I thought I might wear Marcus's hair, and but then I thought, no, it doesn't really suit that leonine look. Doesn't really suit 1944 small town America.
Um,
But
Peter, I'm gonna call it. I don't know how you and Barry Humphries weren't separated at birth. Like seriously, just manic, manic. Your eccentricities are so freaking cool. Hey, obviously, way back in the early 1900s, there was the movie that starred James Stewart.
yes,
It was done in the 1940s, I think.
in 1950 was the movie. Yes,
Um, clearly, the book was written before the movie, of course, but
yeah,
I have never seen the play and I haven't read the book, but I have seen the
yeah,
movie. How
yeah.
true, or how close is the movie to the actual stage work?
Oh, very close. They open it up at one point and go, because it's set in two different. It's set in a house and a sanitarium, and the play, but the movie they open it up and they go to a bar scene. That's it.
Yep.
But it's pretty well word for word. And James Stewart loved it. James Stewart always said that it was his favourite role, and indeed in the very long Broadway season, he replaced Frank Fay, the original Elwood P. Dowd, for a while on Broadway in the 40s, and then did the movie. And then in the 70s, he did the play in London for a while, and also did another version of it for television with Helen Hayes. So it was very much part of his career, and he loved Harvey.
Um,
As do I. It takes you over because this character is rather mystic, Marcus.
yep.
He's sort of other, and he's constantly talking to this invisible person, a bit like a child. Children have invisible friends, and this Harvey, this rabbit, is part of his life, and I'm a bit like that at home. I'm talking to Harvey all the time, to this invisible rabbit. It takes you over a bit. There's an old saying, you should always hang up a character in the dressing room with your costume, and leave it there. Otherwise, it can take you over, and it's nasty if you're playing a murderer or
well, yeah.
You can't live that. So, but this character does take me over a bit
I like
because
that.
I love him. I love him.
You know what? If it works, like go for it. If it brings you joy,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it. I mean,
yeah.
I don't need imaginary friends because I've got all my indoor plants. I talk to my plants.
And
Um,
you've got a lot of friends. You're a sweet man, Marcus
oh,
Hammond.
thank
You're a
you.
sweet man.
Well, you know what?
You
Again, just be
you
kind.
lift people, and you're always glad to see people.
Oh,
Um, I'm not. Half the people I see, I wish I
you're
didn't.
a miserable bastard.
I'm a miserable bastard.
Oh, no,
No.
never, 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 never. Hey, let's talk about your career. I mean, because obviously you have done directing, you do writing, and obviously acting as well. Where do you feel more comfortable and where do you love to belong? In what area?
Um, well, you know, I like directing best. Um, it's my first love. The theatre is my first love. I don't. I, I mean, I've written a column for the Sunday Mail for 34 years,
Yeah.
um, and I've now written two memoirs published by Wakefield Press. Sadly, I don't enjoy writing. Writing is a kind of torture to me. Um, the yeah, I wish I did, and I envy writers who do enjoy the process of writing. Dorothy Parker once said, and I've lived by this. I don't like writing, but I like having written. So I do like that experience of finishing something and that's done, having written.
Yeah.
So I don't. I much prefer working in the theatre. This is a challenge for me because I haven't acted. I haven't played a role in I think 22 years, and I'm. It's terrifying. I'm absolutely terrified, frankly. I mean, I've played myself constantly and endlessly in those years,
Yeah.
but I haven't actually played someone else.
Yeah.
It's refreshing. Actors get one of the great joys of acting is that you get to take a holiday from yourself. You are no longer yourself, you are someone else. And that's refreshing, but it's challenging. Learning the lines has been a challenge, but I'm touch wood pretty well on top of that.
So do you find while you're rehearsing for a show and learning those lines, and like we say, I mean, this show is very much about, your dialogue. Do you find that it's really hard for you to engage in, TV shows or reading books or anything else that is going to distract you from learning the lines that are required?
No, well, you know, um,
Do you
so the
this?
only time I do any cleaning of the house is if I'm to delay writing something or to delay learning my lines. Basically, both are torture. But no, I'm able to keep going with other things. Yes, more or less.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um,
It does take you over.
I can imagine it would totally. Look, one of my questions was, when's the last time you worked as an actor,
Mm.
as a character? But you just said that 22
Yeah,
years ago-ish.
yeah,
Do you find stepping, because you have done a lot of cabaret shows, you've done a lot of fringe shows, you've obviously
yeah.
been doing the 5AA show for, a
No,
good
ABC,
ABC,
ABC.
sorry, ABC for
Yeah,
a long time as well, where you interview. So you've always had to put out, showtime and, put on the personality and all that.
yeah, yeah.
Where do you prefer? Do you prefer to step away from the Peter Gers character, and be somebody else, or do you prefer being yourself in front of people? What do you think you prefer?
Oh, I prefer being myself in front of people because I'm used to
Yeah.
it. Acting is, you've got to a degree, disappear yourself. Although it's still me. You also, as an actor, you have to find, um, you, you, you have to find yourself in the character. How am I like this man?
Yep.
Um, and how am I not like this man? And work on it like that. But naturally, it's yourself you're putting into it. So,
Yep.
you know, they, you might, uh, it's still me, I suppose. It's
It's
me meets Elwood P.
uh,
Down.
yeah.
Mm.
I like it.
Yeah.
The cast are amazing. The lineup is incredible. There's a good bunch of incredible Adelaide actors in this show.
Mm.
Can we just talk about Adelaide actors for a minute? Because we've got some outstanding talents here, haven't we?
Absolutely,
Who
absolutely wonderful actors
are some
and
of your
new
favorite?
actors coming along.
Oh,
I love that. I went to see a show the other week at the Mill called Punk House,
ah,
and it had a wonderful young cast and some really, really fine work from young actors. And this inspires me watching people coming up.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, uh, so no, we're very rich in actors and hopefully opportunity.
Yeah.
Um, and this is what I suppose you work and you try and create opportunity for others.
Yep. Well, I want to say that a bit of a shout out to you and to Martha, because that's something that you both very much do, support the up and coming actors, the
Yeah,
people that don't so much have a voice. And that's something that I've always noticed about you and Martha. So
yeah,
congratulations, you guys.
yeah.
Hey, one last question, my dear friends. Um,
Yes.
Obviously wrapping up after Harvey, and there's still a bit of work to do on that yet, but when Harvey is done, I know you're going to have a break. But what is next for you? What's going to happen for Peter Gers in 2026?
I'm doing a fringe show, which will be my 11th at Holden Street. It's called Senior Citizen Kane. And um, then I'm doing two plays at the Arts Theatre.
Yep.
I'm appearing in a play called The Man Who Came to Dinner. And then I'm directing a play called The Sunshine Boys by Neil Simon, which is about two um, elderly American vaudeville comedians who have retired, but they're given an opportunity to do a big television show. The only problem is they can't stand one another. And it's a lovely, funny, funny play. And that'll be in the middle of next year at the Arts Theatre.
Um,
So it goes on.
You said a key word. You said, that play is about two guys that have retired. I am thankful, and I'm sure most of South Australia are very happy that you are someone that will not retire. You will just keep on doing, keep on championing arts and entertainment in Adelaide. And Peter Gers, we appreciate you. So thank you for everything you
Thank you, Marcus. And again, I repeat, thank you very much for your support of our work at Holden Street and generally. You're a good stick, Marcus, and thank you very much.
Harvey is at Holden Street
I
Theatre.
can't do a thing with my hair today. Can
Holden's
you?
Holden Street Theatres is playing Harvey in the studio, written by Mary Chase, starring Peter Gers, and it is running from the 4th to the 22nd of November. Everybody, get on it. Peter,
Be there and be square. Thank you.
thank you.
See you. Thanks, Marcus.
Cheers.